Matt's deadliest trap exposed. Victor Newman's secret shakes Genoa City to its core. YNR December 10th recap. Genoa City just stepped into the lion's den, and the Newmans don't even realize how close their enemy truly is. On today's explosive episode of The Young and the Restless, December 10th unleashes a tidal wave of secrets, traps, betrayals, and a shocking revelation that could destroy the Newman dynasty from the inside out. Matt Clark, the man everyone thought was dead, gone, finished, has resurfaced under a new name, a new identity, and with a vengeance hotter than ever before. And today, Victor Newman finally learns the critical secret that turns the entire battlefield upside down. But that's only the beginning. While the Newmans scramble to build a decoy trap to protect their own, alliances are shifting, old wounds are reopening, and hidden motives are bubbling to the surface. Sharon confronts Sienna. Noah faces his ex, Jack, plots a counterstrike. And Victor, he's ready to unleash something so dangerous it could rewrite the entire power structure of Genoa City. One wrong step, one unexpected betrayal, one midnight move, and Matt's trap could snap shut on the Newmans before they even see it coming. Get ready, this is the turning point. Matt Clark's shadow returns, a day of secrets, traps, and explosive tension in Genoa City. The holiday lights may be shining across Genoa City, but beneath the surface, a storm is gathering. The December 10th episode of The Young and the Restless delivers one of the tensest, twist-heavy hours of the season, and it all begins with the Newmans returning home from Los Angeles with more questions, more fear, and more enemies than ever. Matt Clark, known in Los Angeles as Mitch Bacall, is no longer a rumor, no longer a shadow, and no longer a distant problem. He's alive, he's watching, and now he's moving. But before the Newmans even fully grasp the danger, a powerful secret begins spreading through the ranch, one big enough to threaten the entire family. This is the recap, the breakdown, and the deep dive into everything that went down on December 10th. And trust me, every character in Genoa City walked through fire today. Victor warns Sienna, "I saved you, don't forget it." When the Newman jet touches down and the family arrives home, the energy is uneasy, tense, buzzing with the knowledge that someone is stalking them from the shadows. Sienna Bacall, Matt's ex-partner and an unwilling witness to his depravity, stands slightly apart from the others. The Newmans welcome her, but it is Victor who corners her privately, delivering a chilling reminder. He saved her. He paid for her escape. He kept her alive, and she owes him. Victor's message is clear. If Sienna crosses him or hides anything else about Matt, there will be consequences. This exchange marks the first sign that Sienna may be more tangled in Matt's plans than she's letting on. Noah introduces Sienna, and Claire's world shifts. As Noah brings Sienna into the circle, Claire immediately reacts. She recognizes her from the shadow room, Matt's twisted LA playground. The realization is a punch to the gut, a reminder that Matt's reach and cruelty extended far beyond what the Newmans believed. Claire doesn't trust Sienna. Sharon doesn't trust Sienna. Even Noah, though protective, senses that something is off. But still, he stands by her, even when it puts him in the crossfire. The Newmans learned the avalanche of Matt's crimes. Matt didn't just ruin lives in Genoa City. He wrecked lives in Los Angeles, too. And as Noah and Sienna lay out his horrifying actions, Nikki reels in shock. The man she thought she understood, the man they believed dead, is now a far more dangerous monster. Victor assures them he has a plan, but for the first time, even he seems rattled. Meanwhile, Sharon is terrified. Nick is tense. Chelsea and Adam are on edge. Everyone knows one truth. If Matt is alive, he's coming for them. Victor's other war, destroying Jack Abbott. Even with Matt circling like a shark, Victor is juggling another hostile battlefield, Jack Abbott. Today, Victor reveals his next move to Adam. He's about to unleash the AI program. He's ready to cripple Jabot, and he intends to bury Jack professionally once and for all. But the Abbotts aren't stupid. They've set digital traps. Diane's IT team is building a counter-strike system designed to trace the intruder straight back to Victor. 2 titans, 2 traps, one inevitable clash. Noah and Sienna share a kiss, and Sharon catches them. At the cottage, emotions run high. Noah tries to comfort Sienna, promising protection, safety, a chance to rebuild. The conversation turns soft, then intimate, and suddenly they're kissing. That's when Sharon walks in. Her shock is instant. Not because Noah kissed someone, but because he kissed someone connected to the man who nearly destroyed him. Moments later, Nick appears and drags Noah off for decoy room prep, leaving Sharon and Sienna alone. And that's when the real tension begins. Sharon interrogates Sienna. What are you really after? Sharon isn't fooled by tears or by charm. She has survived trauma most people couldn't imagine. And she knows danger when she sees it. Sharon presses Sienna. Why did she really follow Noah home? What does she want from him? Is she running from Matt or helping him? Sienna insists she isn't using Noah. She isn't scheming. She isn't secretly aligned with Matt. But Sharon doesn't buy it, and she warns Sienna to be careful with Noah's already shattered heart. This confrontation may be the beginning of a much bigger storyline. The Abbotts prepare for war. At the GCAC, the Abbott men gather their strength. Jack and Kyle strategize. Billy and Sally prep the launch party. Audra tries to offer support. Kyle pushes her buttons. Old grudges simmer. But beneath the business chatter is a darker truth. They know Victor is coming for them, and they're preparing to expose him once and for all. Noah and Nick prep the decoy trap. This is the critical setup of the day. Noah and Nick visit the GCAC under false names. They arrange a decoy room booked under Noah and Sienna, hoping Matt will fall for the bait. The trap is simple. If Matt shows up looking for them, they'll be ready. But traps work both ways. And Matt is known for staying 3 steps ahead. This moment may be the quiet beginning of a deadly game. Noah runs into Audra, tension explodes. As if Noah didn't already have enough emotional chaos today, he suddenly comes face to face with Audra, the woman who shattered him. The awkward energy hangs between them like smoke. Nick watches from a distance, unsure whether to intervene or let Noah fight his own battles. When they finally speak, it's tense, bittersweet, unresolved, hinting that Noah's emotional storyline is far from over. Foreshadowing Matt's New Year's Eve strike. The episode closes with a sense of dread. Matt is coming. Just not yet. Christmas will be calm, almost suspiciously calm. But New Year's Eve? That's when the chaos may explode. Y&R is teasing a night of kidnappings, explosive traps, deadly confrontations, a midnight attack no one sees coming. Matt has lost everything, and a man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous threat of all. Y&R shocker. Matt Clark hunted with decoy trap as Victor learns a secret that changes everything. December 10th recap fire. Genoa City has seen villains, scandals, and betrayal before, but nothing compares to what unfolded on December 10th. The Young and the Restless delivered an episode pulsing with paranoia, power plays, and a chilling reminder that Matt Clark's shadow still stretches across every Newman doorstep. The day began quietly enough, but every scene ticked like a time bomb. By the time the credits rolled, a decoy trap was in motion, Victor Newman was guarding a dangerous secret, and almost every character was bracing for the storm about to break. This wasn't just another midweek episode, it was a turning point. Let's dive into the chaos. Fire the Newmans return, and so does fear. The Newman jet touches down, bringing Victor, Sharon, Nick, and Noah back from Los Angeles. They left LA hoping to escape Matt's grip. Instead, they brought the threat home with them. Inside the gorgeous but tension-heavy Newman ranch, Nikki and Claire greet the returning group. But Sienna Bacall, Matt's ex-accomplice, hangs behind, nervous and unsure about how welcome she truly is. Victor doesn't let the moment pass. He pulls Sienna aside, lowers his voice, and delivers a not-so-subtle reminder. My money and power saved your life. Don't forget that. It's not gratitude he wants, it's obedience. Protection has a price, and Victor expects Sienna to pay it with loyalty. But Sienna's eyes say something else entirely, fear. Fear of Matt. Fear of the Newmans. Fear of what she has dragged into town. Fire Claire's shock, Sienna from the shadow room. Moments later, Noah introduces Sienna to the rest of the family. And that's when Claire freezes. She knows her. She recognizes her. From the shadow room, Matt Clark's LA nightlife empire built on secrets, manipulation, and control. Claire can't believe she's in Genoa City. The question on her face is clear. Why is one of Matt's closest associates suddenly standing in the Newman living room? Sharon notices. Nick notices. Even Adam, who walks in with Chelsea moments later, senses the tension shift. Fire Victor drops the bomb. Matt Clark is alive. Once the entire clan is gathered, Victor finally stops dancing around the truth. Someone is targeting them. Someone ruthless. Someone cunning. And that someone is Matt Clark. Alive, active, and reinvented under the alias Mitch Bacall. Nikki is floored. Sharon's face drains of color. Nick goes rigid. Chelsea gasps. Adam's jaw clenches. Even Noah and Sienna recap Matt's horrifying behavior in LA, confirming he's even more unhinged than before. Victor tells them not to panic, he has a plan. But the look in Sharon's eyes says she knows the truth. Matt Clark isn't someone you plan against. He's someone you survive. Fire Sharon fears the worst. He's coming here. Sharon, who has faced Matt's cruelty in the past, voices the fear everyone's thinking. Matt might be on his way to Genoa City. Nick agrees. Sharon nods. The unspoken truth settles over the ranch. He's coming for them. All of them. The Newmans brace themselves, but nothing can prepare them for what Matt is capable of. Fire Victor skips the Abbott party and launches a war. Over at Abbott Communications, the launch party is gearing up, but Victor has no interest in showing up. He has more important things to do. Nikki tries to get answers, but Victor expertly dodges every question. Adam and Chelsea announce they'll be attending the party and sharing updates, but Victor waves them off. He already knows what's happening. He already has countermeasures ready. In private, Victor reveals the bombshell. He's unleashing the AI program tonight. Jack Abbott is going down. 2 wars, 2 fronts. Matt Clark, Jack Abbott, Victor Newman is ready to take them both on. Fire Jack and Kyle prep for attack, Diane's digital trap. Across town at the GCAC, Jack and Kyle brace for impact. They know Victor is coming. They know the attack is happening digitally. And they know they need to be one step ahead. Jack reveals that Diane and the IT team have created cunning traps. Special code designed to detect the AI intrusion and trace it directly back to its source. If it works, they'll have proof of Victor's illegal sabotage. If it fails, Jabot collapses. Kyle tries to stay motivated, but his mind wanders to Claire. He hopes working together will rebuild trust. He hints that things are finally looking up, but Audra overhears, and she storms off, furious and threatened. The Abbott drama is heating up, and it's about to spill into the launch party. Fire Noah and Sienna share a kiss, and Sharon sees everything. Back at the cottage, Noah tries to calm Sienna. She feels like she doesn't belong, like she's dragging danger into their lives. Noah reassures her, tells her she's safe, tells her he'll protect her. The conversation softens. Their eyes meet, and suddenly they're kissing. Just then, Sharon re-enters with a tray of food and freezes. Her son, and a woman tied to Matt Clark. Her shock turns to concern, then suspicion. And before the tension can explode, Nick rushes in, calling Noah away for diversionary tactics, in case Matt shows up. Noah leaves. Sienna stays, and Sharon steps forward. Fire Sharon confronts Sienna. What are you hiding? With Noah gone, Sienna tries to make peace. She apologizes for everything Matt did. She claims she wants no part of the nightmare he created. But Sharon sees through the performance. She wants answers. Is Sienna using Noah? Why did she come to Genoa City? What exactly does she know about Matt's plans? Sienna insists she isn't a threat, but Sharon warns her. I've seen women who followed dangerous men. Don't let Noah become your next escape route. This moment changes the dynamic completely. Sharon doesn't trust Sienna, not even a little. Fires Sally and Audra's moment before it blows up. In the jazz lounge, Sally and Billy scramble to finalize the launch party details. Audra arrives with a travel book, a celebratory gift wishing Sally luck. Sally is touched, even emotional. She wants Audra back in the company someday. She believes in her. But then Kyle walks in and detonates the piece. Why don't you support your only friend tonight? Audra's face tightens. She storms off, and the war between Audra, Kyle, and Claire sharpens. Fire the decoy room, the trap for Matt Clark. Once Nick and Noah arrive at the athletic club, the conversation turns deadly serious. They're booking a decoy room, under Noah and Sienna's names. If Matt comes looking, and they're sure he will, they plan to lure him into the trap. But traps are unpredictable. And Matt Clark is more unpredictable than anyone. This moment sets the stage for the confrontation to come. Fire Noah runs into Audra, old wounds open. Right as the trap is being set, Noah unexpectedly crosses paths with Audra. The air turns thick. The history between them, heartbreak, betrayal, unresolved emotion, hits hard. Nick awkwardly hangs back, unsure whether to intervene or flee. Audra tries to stay composed. Noah tries to stay casual. But the tension says everything. This chapter isn't over. And with Matt Clark back in the picture, the emotional fallout may lead to bigger twists. The war for Genoa City has begun. This episode wasn't filler. It wasn't setup. It was ignition. Every storyline that exploded today points toward one thing. Matt Clark is coming, and the Newmans are nowhere near ready. The decoy trap is risky. Victor's AI attack could backfire. Sharon is suspicious. Noah is conflicted. Sienna is hiding more than she admits. Jack is preparing for all-out war. December 10th is the day the chessboard was set. And soon, Matt Clark will make his move. Why in our New Year's Eve explosion? Matt Clark's midnight revenge plan could destroy the Newmans. Chaos erupts at 12. 4 months now, the young and the restless has been quietly building tension around one of Genoa City's most dangerous wildcards, Matt Clark, operating under the slick alias Mitch Bacall. After Victor Newman stripped him of his control, his money, and his power, fans have been waiting for Matt to strike back. And according to the latest Y&R spoilers, that moment may be just days away. But this isn't just any showdown. This is New Year's Eve, a night of champagne, countdowns, and chaos. A night where the clock hits midnight and everything explodes. Literally, possibly, emotionally, guaranteed. Welcome to the storm before the storm, the night the Newmans may never forget. A broken man with nothing left to lose. When Victor Newman makes you his enemy, you're done. Everyone knows that. But this time, Victor may have underestimated just how far a desperate, enraged, humiliated Matt Clark is willing to go. Victor didn't just beat Matt, he obliterated him. He ripped away control of the shadow room, every ounce of Matt's financial stability, his credibility, his safety net, his sense of power. Matt Clark now has nothing. And when a man like Matt loses everything, he doesn't walk away. He plots. He obsesses. He waits for the perfect moment to drop the match into the gasoline-soaked lives of his enemies. And that moment, according to insiders, will come on New Year's Eve, when the rest of Genoa City is too busy celebrating to see him coming. Christmas, the deceptively calm before the storm. Y&R spoilers stress something strange. The Newmans will have a peaceful, heartwarming Christmas. Victor and Nikki will experience a holiday lesson, a feel-good moment that brings the entire family together. That alone should be a red flag. Soap rule number 1. When the Newmans are happy, someone is about to destroy them. Christmas will be warm, calm, and sentimental, which means the writers are preparing the ground for something much darker. Something that strikes the moment the holidays turn over. And nothing rings in chaos like New Year's Eve in Genoa City. New Year's Eve, a night of distractions, a perfect night for payback. Think about it. Every Newman will be at a party, dressed up, relaxed, surrounded by noise, celebrating, vulnerable. The ideal environment for Matt to get exactly what he wants. While everyone is clinking champagne glasses and counting down from 10, Matt could be planting evidence, breaking into Newman territory, kidnapping an unsuspecting family member, triggering a device, setting up a trap, or launching a psychological attack so brutal that midnight becomes a nightmare. This isn't a man who wants to merely scare the Newmans. This is a man who wants to ruin them. And New Year's Eve is the moment when nobody is watching behind them. Remember last year? New Year's Eve is cursed in Genoa City. This would not be the first time New Year's Eve turned deadly. Fans still remember 2024, when the show delivered one of the most shocking holiday plots in its recent history. Ian Ward drugging Tessa Porter, Jordan chloroforming Sharon Newman, a double kidnapping, a twisted rescue mission, a New Year's nightmare that left viewers breathless. Y&R is clearly fond of turning New Year's Eve into chaos. So why break tradition now? If anything, this year's setup is even more explosive. Matt Clark is intelligent, vindictive, and slippery. He isn't just an enemy. He's a strategist. And he has had more than enough time to plan something deadly. What's Matt's plan? Possible shocking twists. While Y&R spoilers keep the exact details hidden, several disturbing possibilities are on the table. Here's what might go down when the clock hits midnight. 1. A kidnapping, but who? Matt knows that hitting Victor directly is difficult, but hitting someone Victor loves? That could break the entire Newman family. Possible targets. Nikki. Matt has past history with her trauma. Victoria. Taking Victor's heir would trigger war. Nick. Always first to throw himself into danger. Faith or Claire. A horrifying callback to past Newman crimes. Adam. A shock twist if Matt wants to frame Victor for his disappearance. A New Year's kidnapping could set off a citywide manhunt and plunge the Newmans into chaos. 2. A blow-up, literally. Matt has always been a reckless pyromaniac-type villain. If he decides to plant an explosive device at a New Year's Eve party, the show could deliver one of the most dramatic scenes of the year. It wouldn't be the first time Genoa City has faced this kind of danger. And New Year's Eve fireworks are the perfect cover. 3. A hostile takeover attempt. If Matt can't destroy Victor physically, he may try to destroy him financially. Imagine. Hacked accounts. Frozen assets. Stolen files. Illegal transactions. A total Newman financial collapse. While the Newmans toast to a prosperous year, Matt could be draining them into ruin. Midnight hits, and suddenly the entire empire crashes. 4. A massive frame job. Matt may attempt to frame Victor for a crime. Fraud. Assault. Kidnapping. Arson. Or even murder. Victor could enter 2026 not as the city's king, but as its most wanted man. 5. A personal attack. Emotional, brutal, and devastating. Matt may bring secrets. Real secrets. Damaging secrets. Secrets about Nikki's past. Victor's business. Victoria's love life. Adam's mistakes. Claire's history. Nick's personal struggles. Imagine a New Year's Eve party stopping dead as Matt walks in with a microphone and starts talking. The room would fall silent. Every Newman would freeze. It would be the most chilling moment of the year. Midnight chaos, the countdown to disaster. The biggest hint from the spoilers? The midnight countdown itself will be significant. That's not an accident. That means something is going to happen at exactly 12 a.m. Think. 10, 9, 8. A bomb ticking. 7, 6. A car approaching. 5, 4. A door creaking open. 3, 2. A lights-out blackout across the city. 1. Matt Clark strikes. Imagine the screen cutting to black and screams echoing in the background. Y&R fans would lose their minds. And that may be exactly what the writers are planning. Why now? Why New Year's Eve? Because Matt wants Victor to feel humiliated, off guard, powerless, defeated. He wants the greatest patriarch in daytime television to face the one thing he hates most: losing control. New Year's Eve is symbolic. New beginnings. New endings. New consequences. For Matt, it's the perfect stage. And when Matt returns, he brings terrible news. One spoiler says Matt arrives in Genoa City with terrible news. This could mean someone already died. Someone is about to. There's a ticking threat. Matt knows something catastrophic. Or he's carrying a secret that destroys a Newman marriage or family bond. Whatever it is, it's not small. And it's not forgiving. Whatever Matt brings with him will change everything. The Newman family will never be the same. 2026 is gearing up to be one of the darkest, most explosive years for the Newmans in decades. Will they survive? Of course, they always do. But this time, someone may not escape unscathed. Someone may fall. Someone may break. Someone may be taken. Someone may lose everything. Matt Clark is not coming back to scare them. He's coming back to end them. And the second the clock strikes midnight, Genoa City may never be the same. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Lily reconsiders Kane and Sharon corners Sienna as truths approach boiling point. The Young and the Restless has delivered its fair share of explosive episodes in recent months, but the upcoming Thursday, December 11th installment promises a shift in several important relationships. Some storylines simmer, others detonate, but the one thing fans can count on is the emotional turbulence rippling through Genoa City. With old flames reigniting and new relationships teetering under scrutiny, the episode places several characters at pivotal crossroads. Lily Winter stands on one side of that crossroads as she re-examines her heart, while Sharon Newman takes a different path, using sharp instincts and maternal protectiveness to scrutinize the motives of Sienna Bacall. Both plots converge into a tense, character-driven episode with consequences that stretch far beyond a single night. The hour becomes a turning point that tests loyalty, confronts buried feelings, and forces truth to surface. And as always in Genoa City, every moment is layered with complications. What follows is a detailed, extended look at the emotional storms, personal battles, and shifting dynamics that unfold on Thursday's episode of The Young and the Restless. Lily Winters has always been a character defined by strength, intelligence, and emotional depth. But her romantic history with Kane Ashby remains one of the most complex and deeply rooted relationships in daytime television. Their past has been punctuated by betrayal, heartbreak, reconciliation, and the steady pull of familiar love. Yet for months, Lily has held Kane at arm's length, determined to steer her life in a different direction. However, time has a way of circling back. Feelings she thought were settled begin to stir again. On Thursday, Lily finds herself reconsidering something she swore she wouldn't revisit, the possibility of a future with Kane. Their meeting at Crimson Lights is supposed to be casual, an opportunity to discuss the Abbott Communications launch party. But like always with Lily and Kane, casual turns into complicated the minute they sit down across from each other. Kane, despite his history of mistakes and questionable alliances, has always been able to read Lily, her tone, her doubts, even her silences. So when she reveals that she plans to attend the Abbott's launch party but anticipates a dull, miserable evening, Kane sees an opening. His offer is simple, but loaded with meaning. Why not go together? It is not a date, he claims. Not exactly. Just two people, with a familiar past, making an otherwise uneventful night more enjoyable. But Kane's intentions, while cloaked in charm, run deeper than he admits. He wants to prove himself. He wants to show that he has changed, that he has finally let go of the destructive patterns that once drove a wedge between them. And more importantly, he wants Lily to see him not as the man he was, but as the man he hopes to become. His claim that he was only playing Phyllis Summers is a strategic one. He frames the situation as a ploy, a game he had to play in order to catch Phyllis red-handed in her alleged theft of the AI program. He emphasizes that his time with Phyllis was never romantic, never genuine. It was a chess match, and now that the truth is coming to light, he is shifting his focus toward accountability rather than chaos. For Lily, the emotional terrain is far more difficult to navigate. She wants to trust him. She wants to believe that Kane is finally being honest, that he isn't repeating the same tired patterns of manipulation or secrecy. And she recognizes the sincerity in his voice when he discusses revenge against Phyllis, not out of spite, but out of a deep need to set the record straight and restore his tarnished reputation. Kane's words dig into the cracks of Lily's guarded heart. Their chemistry has always been undeniable, and the nostalgia of their shared history tugs at her resolve. Slowly, she begins to weaken the mental walls she built. Lily's reversal is not instant. She wrestles with doubt, with memories of past betrayals, with the fear of falling into old traps. But Kane's determination and vulnerability begin to break through. Eventually, she softens enough to reconsider. Her decision to give Kane another chance, to entertain the idea of attending the party together, and perhaps explore whether their spark still exists, becomes one of the most significant emotional beats of the episode. It is a moment of hope wrapped in hesitation, a turn towards something familiar yet uncertain. For Kane, Lily's shift means everything. For the first time in a long time, he sees a door opening rather than another one closing. Her willingness to reconsider him is a victory in itself, a sign that the future he thought he had lost may still be within reach. While Lily grapples with her heart, Sharon Newman is engaged in a different kind of battle, one driven by maternal instinct and suspicion rather than romance. Her protective streak emerges full force when she finds herself alone with Sienna Bacall inside the cottage. Sienna, already carrying the weight of her controversial family connections, walks into the interrogation with composed confidence. Sharon, however, is not interested in calm conversation. She is here to peel back layers, to understand what Sienna truly wants from her son, and to uncover whether she is yet another threat disguised as a friend. For Sharon, history speaks loudly. Noah Newman has been burned more times than he deserves. His romantic track record includes heartbreak, manipulation, abandonment, and emotional turbulence, all of which have left scars his mother refuses to ignore. Sienna, with her proximity to Matt Clark and the danger surrounding their family, raises red flags Sharon cannot afford to dismiss. She begins with polite questions. Then the gloves come off. What does Sienna want from Noah? What is she hiding? What is her true motive for accepting Noah's offer of safety in Genoa City? Sienna insists she is not a gold digger, not an opportunist, and certainly not using Noah as leverage into the Newman family. She admits she accepted Noah's help because she had nowhere else to turn. Her life has been in danger, her stability ripped away, and Noah offered her a chance to breathe. She also reveals something Sharon may not want to hear. She genuinely likes Noah. They bonded naturally, sharing vulnerabilities and traumas that mirrored each other more than either expected. While their relationship is not serious yet, it has the potential to evolve. Sharon listens, but she remains cautious. She warns Sienna gently, but firmly, that Noah's heart is not a toy. He has suffered enough, and Sharon will not tolerate another woman, leaving him shattered in the aftermath of emotional manipulation. Sienna acknowledges the warning, but stands her ground. She has no intention of hurting Noah, yet there is a quiet tension in the air, a sense that Sienna is still withholding something, not necessarily malicious, but heavy enough to give Sharon pause. Their conversation leaves both women unsettled. Sharon is not fully convinced. Sienna is not fully understood. And Noah, caught in the middle, becomes increasingly vulnerable to whatever comes next. Meanwhile at the GCC, Noah faces a different problem, running into Audra Charles, one of the women responsible for the emotional scars Sharon referenced. Their encounter is awkward, tense, and riddled with unresolved issues. Audra attempts to keep things cordial, but Noah is visibly uncomfortable. Their history is complicated, filled with betrayal and manipulation. Sharing the same space feels suffocating to him. Nick Newman eventually steps in, giving Noah an out with a well-timed intervention. He rescues his son from the draining encounter, steering him away before the situation escalates. Audra, however, has no time to dwell on the awkwardness. Holden Novak appears shortly after, ready to mend the cracks in their recent friction. The two quickly shift into strategic mode, discussing their mutual interest in stopping Claire Newman from uncovering their secrets. A tentative alliance forms between them, suggesting dangerous moves ahead. Their deal may protect them in the short term, but the longer it lasts, the more explosive the eventual fallout becomes. Finally, Kane and Lily's conversation at Crimson Lights deepens into an emotional turning point. Their reunion does not erase the wounds of the past, but it does open the possibility of something new. Lily sees a version of Kane she has not encountered in a long time, determined, humbled, and sincere. As they discuss the launch party, Lily begins to envision what it might look like to attend together. The idea, once unthinkable, now feels like an opportunity, a test, an exploration, or perhaps the first step toward rebuilding something meaningful. Kane reads her carefully, encouraging her just enough without pushing too hard. When she finally hints that she might accept his offer, a subtle shift in their dynamic becomes clear. This is not a story about instant reconciliation. It is a story about possibility, about revisiting old love with a more measured heart. The episode concludes with Lily offering Kane a glimmer of hope, a reversal that could change both of their futures. Kane's reaction, a mixture of relief and excitement, marks the beginning of a new chapter in their complicated relationship. Thursday's episode weaves together emotional tension and shifting alliances. Lily's decision to reconsider Kane complicates their history, but also revitalizes a beloved pairing. Sharon's interrogation of Sienna casts a long shadow over Noah's romantic prospects and raises questions about Sienna's true intentions. Audra and Holden strengthen their alliance, hinting at larger conflicts on the horizon. And the Newman family once again finds itself at the center of unfolding drama. In Genoa City, relationships are never simple. Loyalties change, truths bend, and hearts are always at risk. But as Lily steps toward Kane and Sharon steps toward defending her son, the emotional stakes heighten for everyone involved. The episode promises to push characters into uncomfortable truths and unexpected realizations. And for viewers, it continues the thrilling ride that only The Young and the Restless can deliver. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Audra's ultimate revenge plot, fake demise, a framed rival and criminal fallout. In Genoa City, rivalries turn brutal in the blink of an eye. Grudges escalate into all-out war. Words hit like knives, loyalties collapse without warning, and the past is always waiting to resurface with claws of its own. The Young and the Restless thrives on tension, but the spiraling feud between Audra Charles and Claire Newman may soon deliver one of the most explosive storylines the show has set up in years. Audra and Claire are both characters with complicated pasts, unresolved traumas, and a burning desire to control their own narratives. These women are not built for peace. They are built for survival. What began as a clash of personalities has evolved into a dangerous game of strategy, manipulation, and psychological warfare. And according to the latest hints, that war is about to take a dark, and possibly criminal, turn. Audra Charles may soon cross a line even she has never dared cross before. The rumor swirling through spoilers is bold, twisted, and perfectly suited to Audra's calculating nature. She may fake her own demise and frame Claire for it. Such a move would unleash chaos, trigger criminal consequences, and push Claire into the most dangerous corner she has been backed into since the days she was being brainwashed by Jordan. The stage is already set. The fuse has already been lit. The question is no longer whether things will explode. The question is who will survive the damage once they do. Audra Charles has never been subtle. From the moment she entered Genoa City, she has behaved like someone who knows exactly what she wants and refuses to settle for less. Whether she is maneuvering corporate power behind the scenes, using charm to disarm her rivals, or weaponizing secrets, Audra plays the game with precision and no remorse. So when she calls Claire homicidal or unstable, she does it with intent. She wants Claire rattled. She wants Claire guilty. She wants Claire to snap. And Claire took the bait. The moment Claire grabbed Audra by the throat inside society, the room froze. Everyone saw it. Everyone felt the shift. It was the kind of moment that reveals who someone really is beneath the surface. Audra had slapped Claire first. Yes, but Claire responded with something far darker, something that jumped out of her like a reflex forged in trauma. The part of Claire that was molded by Jordan's abuse is still alive, still capable of appearing when she feels cornered, threatened, or pushed beyond reason. And Audra saw that part clearly. In Audra's mind, this is leverage. This is ammunition. This is opportunity. Claire may have walked away from that fight shaken, but Audra walked away inspired. She had just found the perfect weakness to exploit. Holden Novak, one of the only people Audra pretends to trust, urged her to keep her distance from Claire. He warned her that Claire's trauma makes her volatile. He warned her that pushing the wrong buttons could lead to real danger. But Audra is not the kind of woman who backs away from risk. She thrives in it. Her relationship with Holden reveals a different layer of her motivations. The two are entangled in secrets involving her past in Los Angeles, secrets Claire and Kyle are now determined to uncover. If those secrets go public, Audra's career, reputation, and place in Genoa City could crumble overnight. So from Audra's perspective, she has no choice except to fight fire with fire. Claire wants to expose her. Then Audra will expose Claire harder. She has repeated the same accusation again and again, almost like she is preparing the world for the story she wants them to believe. Claire tried to kill her own family. Claire is one bad day away from cracking. Claire belongs in a psychiatric ward. Claire cannot be trusted with sharp objects, let alone people's trust. She says these things with confidence, planting the seeds. And in soap operas, the seeds that get planted early always bloom into something dangerous later. Audra's strategy is becoming clear. If everyone already believes Claire is dangerous, then they will readily believe Claire committed a crime. Even one as extreme as taking Audra's life. Claire Newman has worked hard to rebuild her life. She has apologized, taken responsibility, undergone treatment, and rejoined the Newman family with a fierce desire to do better. But redemption arcs in daytime dramas are delicate things. They can be shattered with a single mistake, a single accusation, a single shadow from the past. Claire's goal to expose Audra's Los Angeles secrets alongside Kyle Abbott is admirable, but also naive. Claire does not fully understand the kind of enemy she is facing. Audra does not lose gracefully. She does not forgive. She retaliates. Kyle wants justice. Claire wants closure. But Audra wants survival. And survival, for Audra, means eliminating the threat Claire poses. If Claire were to be implicated in something violent or criminal, it would discredit her completely. No one would listen to whatever she discovered about Audra's LA past. No one would trust her. No one would defend her. She would be exactly where Jordan once kept her, alone, frightened, and powerless. For someone like Audra, framing Claire is not just revenge. It is strategy. It is insurance. It is the cleanest way to win. Claire has already given her the perfect starting point, a public assault captured in real time. Imagine the scene Audra could orchestrate. She disappears. She leaves behind just enough evidence to suggest foul play. A few drops of staged blood, a torn piece of fabric, a message implying fear of Claire, a witness who overheard a heated argument, perhaps even a planted item of Claire's found somewhere suspicious. Audra knows how investigations work. She knows how public perception shifts. She knows how easily a reputation can be destroyed. The moment she vanishes, whispers would begin. People would recall Claire's hand around Audra's throat. They would recall the unhinged look in her eyes. They would recall her history with Jordan. They would recall the trauma and the instability and the fear. And the police. They would have little choice except to bring Claire in for questioning. Depending on how carefully Audra scripts her disappearance, Claire could find herself facing accusations of kidnapping, attempted murder, or even homicide. It would be the perfect revenge. Audra would be safe, hidden somewhere out of sight. Claire would be trapped inside a cage of suspicion, maybe even behind bars. And by the time the truth surfaced, the damage would already be done. Reputations do not recover easily in Genoa City. But this is the young and the restless, and no scheme lasts forever. Secrets unravel. Lies get exposed. Fake demises always carry consequences. And soap villains, no matter how clever, never stay in control forever. Audra's plan would likely succeed at first. Claire would panic. The Newmans would be horrified. Kyle would scramble to figure out the truth. Holden might waver, torn between protecting himself and exposing Audra. Suspicion would spiral. Tensions would rise. Everything would teeter dangerously close to collapse. But eventually, someone would find the missing piece. A surveillance camera Audra forgot about. A trail she failed to erase. A witness who recognized her somewhere she should not have been. Or perhaps Holden, deciding he has more to lose than he bargained for, might betray her. When the truth comes out, the shockwaves would be enormous. Claire would be cleared. The Newmans would launch a full-scale attack. Kyle would stand beside Claire, perhaps closer to her than ever, cementing their bond in the process. And Audra, her downfall would be spectacular. Faking a demise and framing someone is not just morally corrupt, it is criminal. It could cost her everything. But until that moment of truth arrives, viewers would be taken on a thrilling ride filled with twists, turns, accusations, red herrings, and emotional chaos. It would be dangerous. It would be dramatic. And it would be unforgettable. The rivalry between Audra Charles and Claire Newman has already escalated beyond ordinary conflict. It is now a psychological duel, a proxy war fueled by fear, revenge, and desperation. Audra sees Claire as a threat that must be eliminated before her own secret surface. Claire sees Audra as an obstacle standing in the way of truth and justice. Kyle, caught between loyalty and strategy, has become Claire's ally and possibly something more. Holden hovers on the perimeter, feeding information, monitoring danger, and calculating his next move. Every moment of his storyline is building toward a breaking point. Audra is cornered and unpredictable. Claire is fragile yet fierce. Kyle is determined but vulnerable. Holden is conflicted and increasingly trapped. And when corner characters collide, the fallout can reshape Genoa City. If Audra executes her rumored plan and disappears under the illusion of a violent demise, the consequences will ripple across the canvas. Claire's past would be weaponized against her. The Newmans would face a media nightmare. Kyle would risk everything to protect the woman he is beginning to fall for again. And Audra would become one of the most notorious schemers the show has seen in recent years. Whether she succeeds or not, her actions will ignite dramatic arcs for months. The young and the restless thrives on dangerous psychological battles, and this one is uniquely gripping. Two women with traumatic histories. Two fighters unwilling to back down. One explosive plan that could alter everything. Audra's revenge may be cunning, calculated, and shocking, but like all great soap schemes, it will eventually spiral far beyond the control of the person who started it. And when it does, Genoa City will never be the same.